Hey, fellas. Well, this situation has been going on for at least 150 days, and there's no more to see. But to survive this will be my destiny. Hey, yeah, this isn't how it ends. Not by a long shot, man. So I'm just gonna be giving you all a nice little vlog, revolving around Pokemon Journeys this time, covering multiple different kinds of subject matter. So let's get this started. First off, let's talk about episode 32 of JP Dub, Celebi: A Timeless Encounter, which features no other of the main cast, and instead completely focuses on Ho, and how he once knew someone named Tokyo when he was just in his other town as a younger man, and which does also provide another explanation for how he he didn't have many human friends before he met Chloe and later which and before this, as it's treated as an offhand joke, is quickly dismissed. I mean, so and this actually makes a lot of sense, to be honest. I mean, and how it effectively retcons that gag. I mean, again, I actually thought this episode was a lot better than I was expecting it to be. Even as someone who's often been wary of the usual of wanting to change these up like this. I mean, while this works for other series, even they often use good results. So I was suggested it would be better to, stay the course, and go as the deuteragonist, and leave the protagonist alone for now. I mean, and before the movie got pushed back, given the shiny Celebi in this show, Hollywood has a nice cross promotion to Pokemon Coco as well. And there's going to be a lot coming in the future, even with this in mind. So, yeah. On that note, on top of the episode, it's going to be evolving around a trading festival, and Team Rocket can potentially getting Morpeko, like I've been hoping for. Or I was waiting for some better translation synopses, so I shall briefly address the upcoming events into the series up to episode 36. So now apart from this character of the day with a Kricketune motif, who's most likely gonna get renamed when that episode gets dubbed. So we have the appearance of the solitary fighter B, the threatening Clobopus, the threatening Graplocked. So my guess is going to be setting up B as not the character who was previously portrayed the same way as in the games or even the Twilight Wings OVA. I have not really had a chance to verify how she is in the manga because I haven't found any scans of it yet. And maybe, based on what the description was and other future episodes or after this, as a potential rival, that may even be more powerful than how she was before. It's not a total stretch given how she reminds me a lot of, say, Makoto from Street Fighter 3, both in looks and personality. But that's just me personally. And after that, we've got Get Pikachu, in which this anime has only version the Pikachu Stampede, which may involve Go potentially getting his own main, which makes sense to me. He, again, for the deuteragonist angle of having he and Ash be two sides of the same coin, and also why I think some of the this attempted boycott didn't really pan out because everyone plays in the same way. I mean because all the accusations for the most part do not concern me too much. Towards developers, I need actual proof of what they're claiming, not a bunch of hearsay and conjecture. But I'm starting to get into real back there, and after that, it will be the Ash and Go crawl up from the sand trap. I mean, I don't think the actual title is going to be terribly COVID compliant for the time being. I mean, there'll be another day for me to get kind of edgy, but it's not here, and I honestly don't mind who gets a flag on this one either way. Hey, because personally, I'm more of a Salamence guy as Generation 3, the Monsters Go. But what intrigues me is that Ash, after the encounter with B, maybe went on a downward spiral, that he needs to turn around, which I'm interested in. And also, what's going to make another good segue is on top of returning monsters and evolutions, and once they're going to be in spoiler territory, one of them might be getting Aerodactyl. Imagine that. And now comes the really juicy part of this, some of the future events, as teased by the new opening in 1, 2, 3, Let's Go, which is now being sung as of episode 32, which I just mentioned, and by the people who compose the song. And there's a lot of stuff crammed into that minute and a half, which confirms some of the rumors at least that have been set up. Least of all, the Alola crew. As I was saying, given I'm still working on my vlogs of that series, I'm currently on episode 25. Regardless of when they announce the release date for the Crown Tundra, my goal is still to get at least the first season finished before that goes live. But even more so, they're setting up Eternatus role, given how I'm not going to be spoiling how we will play the games which I have not yet, but it is basically setting up how Ash and Go will be like the Rubio Sword and Shield, for the Galaxy's Darkest Day. And even more so with Go getting Cinderace, and even more so Ash getting Lucario, which again, and given how he's been my favorite monster ever since I was say 16, and I was around the time so I get back in the series. I ended up getting platinum for my DS a year later. I also further compounds like my mentality of he's persistently talked about remix of Sin on the Switch. And to the point I've been starting to put together like a list of things I'd like to see in that and ones I might not. The question being less if and rather when. And especially like how Cinderace is gonna be, given how I've been really enjoying that stage before I first started playing Sword, so definitely those Evos gonna be dedicated to who all the teachers who told them it never amounted to nothing, to all the people hold living above the bid holdings means I might be hustling in front of. I mean, if you're pardon the parlance there, I mean, it's so definitely looking forward to see how that plays out. I mean, especially given how Journeys have been shaking up a lot of the, all the conventions and just like, and why I don't mind all how they're gonna be using basically every one they've done so far from Kanto to Galar, maybe beyond. I mean, as for other characters, whether they're the original ones like Rock and Misty, I've seen some fan arts of them Let's Go designs in the show's art style, or more recent and characters from series such as Unova and College already talked about quite a bit in the past. I'm very much open to the idea. I mean, maybe even like the Crisis crossover, over like the help they can get. I mean, that's also why I made that Infinity War joke or hook when I was talking about Digimon movie last year. I mean, I would be adding more towards this, but on top of ones I've been trying to get off the ground for a while. I've been stretched thin a bit, so anyway, hey, that's all I got to say for now. If there's anything you might like to see in future episodes of this anime, feel free to let me know in the comments. Once I will talk to you all later. Yeah.